background in economics and business administration, and right now I'm doing the graduate certificate in innovation and enterprise. And I also used to work in the fitness industry. Andreas has his background in software development, and right now he's the CTO of a German startup. And tonight I'm going to talk about dieting. Okay, so yeah, this is like the typical thing you can find in all these magazines. Like, okay, we have fish, a lot of salad, maybe shakes. Okay, it looks as if you could lose a lot of weight with it, but does that actually work? The normal cycle goes like this. First, you think, okay, I need to get in shape, so you start with a program. Then, but after a while, you think about all these things you used to like, you used to eat, you're not allowed to anymore. And then again, after a while, you're just kind of frustrated, maybe hungry, and just drop it because you think you can't make it anymore. And if you're unlucky, you will also gain some more weight afterwards, more than you had before. So, but is that problem real? Yes, it is. About 80% of all people cancel their diets. And only 20% are successful in long-term weight loss maintenance. But what is actually the problem here? First, we have the knowledge and advice is accessible. Nutrition books, websites, even over the Australian government. But somehow there seems to be a problem to implement that into daily life. But what is the solution? What are we actually talking about here? So it's about changing eating habits. But how would you change a habit? It all starts with a reminder, a trigger that starts your habit. Then it goes into a routine, that's the action you take. And then there's the reward. And if the reward is positive, you have the incentive to do it again. And that is exactly what we're doing. But how are we doing that? This is our app. It shows some sample challenges, and it sends you push messages on a daily basis to remind you of your challenge. Then you turn it into a routine, and for every successful day, you click on the icon. And for every 6 successful days, you receive a cheat day, which means there's a day where you do not have to tackle the challenge. Okay, this is interesting, but what is now actually the product? Okay, first your goal, weight loss and long-term weight loss maintenance. Then you go to our website, fill out the questionnaire, and which is then analyzed by our nutrition experts, who then create a set of challenges you might tackle. But what is now a challenge? A challenge is a small change in your nutrition habits. That could be, for example, having a healthy muesli for breakfast. Then you choose up to 3 challenges at a time and turn them in a routine for 30 days, and you keep track of your progress with our app. And then the cycle starts again. So also, numbers are always important, so here they come. The market size for weight loss counseling services is worth around $600 million in Australia. And the industry is still growing. But who is now our target group? We call her Janine. She's between 16 and 45 years. She likes to read glossy magazines and likes to look good. But how many Janines do we have in Australia? It's about 2.5 million. But how can we know that Janine actually likes our product? In order to determine that, we run a short Facebook advertising campaign for 6 days worth 10 euros a day. The average cost per click was 45 cents. We collected 10 emails leads and had 110 page views on our landing page. So what is now the business model? Key partners are the nutrition experts who are going to develop the set of challenges. The revenue stream will be based on a subscription model, and the price will be based on the time you're going to subscribe for. And the cost structure, in the beginning, it will mainly be development costs for the app, the website, and also the nutrition part. And then, of course, we have things like salaries, marketing. Okay, what are the next steps? Acquiring a nutrition expert, build the app and the website, and start the marketing campaign. What are the goals? Launching the app within the next 2 months and acquiring the first 50 subscribers to the end of the year. Thank you.
Great, thanks for that. It's a great presentation. You've got quite good understanding of what you're doing, and it makes a lot of sense. I know there's a lot of obese people, a lot of people need to lose weight, so it's a really good place to be working. What I'm more interested in, though, you've already got some people interested in the sense that you've got email addresses from people. Do do you have any sense of what your fall-off will be as you start asking to answer a questionnaire, and then I start asking for money? So for every 1,000 people that start looking at products, how many people actually end up paying you the money at the end of the day? Do you have any handle on that transition?
You mean the system, how people are going to pay?
Now, if you start off with 1,000 people on Facebook looking at you, how many of those people are going to download the app? How many people are going to fill in the questionnaire? And of those people, how many people actually pay? So out of every 1,000 people, how many people will pay you $30?
Well, we have here some assumptions. We have a cost per email conversion that was in our campaign that we had was $6. And then we made the assumption that 5% of these people would subscribe. So, and based on these assumptions, we then came to these numbers. So, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, just a comment. Daily push messaging would absolutely kill me. I hate actually the daily push messages, but you can some interesting comments on the push message behavior. I actually think there's something very interesting in something you mentioned before, which is the idea of routine equals learned behavior, which equals results in fitness. And we know that because personal trainers do this in person, and that's one way of converting them. My question is still around, how are you going to get people to download your app, to use and want to learn the behavior to change their routine, right? Because a big problem with trying to get people in shape is the fact that, yeah, they want to get in shape, but often finding the people that are able to action that or want to is very, very hard. So have you guys looked into that? Has any of your customer research showed how you're going to target these people other than sort of just Facebook paid advert that you've just sort of put up there?
Well, the first idea was actually the Facebook campaign and attracting people over social media.
I guess what I mean is, like, who exactly is your target customer here?
Well, I have a more...
Without saying everyone that wants to get fit.
Yeah, this is like our more detailed description. It's actually people who maybe have already tried some diets but have like no good results, and people who like to read these kind of magazines and think that actually losing weight is like very exhausting.
And why would your app be different from that perspective?
Because we provide small challenges you can tackle, which are not changing your habits like abruptly, but small things which are like not so exhausting to change anything.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Look, I think anything that could make weight loss fun, it's got something going for it, for sure. It's a very crowded space. Obviously, there is MyFitnessPal, there's Weight Watchers that are constantly launching new apps. So I guess my question is, and I think you had $5,000 or something in marketing. How are you going to go about actually getting the word out about this particular app that you have? How are you going to market it? Are you going to get people to download it, use it? What channels are you going to use?
Well, the first thought of the channel was actually Facebook or social media.
Yeah.
To make an advertisement over them. And that's actually also the numbers here are also based on our results we have from our short advertising campaign.
Okay, so but obviously there are lots of other channels you could use as well. The other thing I wanted to get my head around was this nutritional expert that you do not have on your team. You mentioned that. I'm wondering if there isn't a way of automating this evaluation of the questionnaires, because it sounds to me that it's quite labour intense, and that there are a number of challenges that you, through the advice of a nutritional experts, that they could choose from. So you automate the process. You don't have a nutritional expert looking at it every single time. It just sounds to me that that's not a viable, doesn't sound very feasible. I'm sure you've thought about that.
Yeah.
So that was just something that came to mind, and just didn't quite understand how that would work.
Okay, the idea is actually that in the end it should be some kind of standardized.
Yes.
And that then you get a challenge based on some kind of questions you answer in the questionnaire.
Yeah.
But in the beginning it will be, of course, labor intensive because we have to set up this kind of system. Yeah, but the end aim is that it's kind of a standardized system.